Welcome back to Creator Age. Today,
Yeah.
we're going to do a deep dive into something that could really shake things up for the global economy.
Right.
And it might impact you as a creator, too.
Okay.
We're talking about the BRICS alliance and all their recent moves challenging the established financial order.
It is fascinating how the conversation about global power, used to be all about the G7 countries. But lately, BRICS, that stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
Right.
They've been gaining traction, They represent a huge chunk of the world's population and economic output.
Yeah.
And it feels like they're not content to just play by the old rules anymore.
Yeah, it really does feel like there's a seismic shift happening.
It does.
Like right now, a group that most people might not have even heard of a few years ago are making headlines.
Exactly.
For starting their own payment systems and financial institutions.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's like we're watching a new world order taking shape right in front of us.
Yeah, the recent BRICS summit was a big deal.
It was.
They didn't just talk about their goals. They actually unveiled some concrete plans that have sent shockwaves through the financial world.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that people are talking about is BRICS Pay.
Yeah.
It's a direct competitor to the SWIFT system, which right now is the main platform for international payments.
BRICS Pay sounds like something out of a fintech startup pitch.
Yeah.
It's a decentralized payment system that uses QR codes and aims to reduce reliance on the U.S. dollar.
Yeah.
The fact that they're saying they want to have it up and running.
For all BRICS members by the end of next year?
Yeah.
That's a bold statement.
It is a bold statement. And what's even more interesting is the story behind BRICS Pay.
Okay.
There's been a lot of buzz about Project Enbridge, which was a similar system that Switzerland's Bank of International Settlements was developing.
Right.
But they just suddenly stopped working on it.
Wow.
And some people think it might be because of potential connections to China, the UAE, and Iran.
Oh, wow.
Who are now all BRICS members.
Okay. Now that is getting really interesting.
It is.
It's like a financial mystery thriller unfolding.
Yeah.
Why would they suddenly back out?
Yeah.
Was there something about BRICS Pay that made them nervous?
Yeah.
And how could this affect creators
who
make money in U.S. dollars or rely on platforms that use U.S. dollars?
It definitely raises questions about the future of global finance. And it shows that a lot of countries really want more financial independence. Yeah. But BRICS isn't just about payments. They've also been supporting the New Development Bank, or NDB, which is basically an alternative to the International Monetary Fund.
Right, the IMF.
Yeah.
Which has been criticized a lot for attaching all those strict conditions to its loans to developing countries.
Right.
The NDB is trying to be a more favorable lender. Offering loans in local currencies, which could be huge for a lot of countries struggling with dollar-denominated debt.
Yeah, it's like they're offering a lifeline to the countries that are looking for a way out of the traditional financial system.
Yeah, and that approach is definitely attracting interest.
It is.
4 new members just joined BRICS.
That's right.
Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates. And apparently dozens more are lining up to join. Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's a serious expansion of their reach and influence. Each of those countries brings something unique to the table. Resources, strategic importance. It's clear that BRICS is becoming more and more appealing as more countries seek greater economic and political independence.
The addition of Iran is especially interesting. It's a major oil producer, and they've been at odds with the U.S. for a long time.
Right.
This move shows that BRICS is willing to challenge the existing geopolitical order and create a new system that isn't so reliant on the West.
And speaking of challenging the existing order, let's talk about India.
Okay.
They've had a complicated relationship with China. But at the summit, their leaders met.
Yeah.
And it seemed like they came to some kind of understanding.
Yeah. It seems like India sees the potential benefits of aligning with BRICS as more important than any friction with China.
This suggests a shift.
Definitely.
In their stance. They're prioritizing their role in BRICS.
Yeah.
Even if it means pushback from Western allies.
Yeah, this is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Especially considering India's close ties to the West.
It's like they're saying, we're not going to let old rivalries get in the way of what we see as a more equitable and multipolar world.
Yeah, a bold move.
For sure. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Definitely. And this brings us to another key point.
Okay.
The sanctions against Russia.
Right.
Those were unlike anything we've seen before.
Yeah.
But the Russian economy hasn't collapsed the way a lot of people predicted.
Yeah.
This has encouraged other countries to consider alternatives to the U.S.-led financial system, knowing that they might face similar pressure in the future.
It's like a real-life case study.
It is.
That has everyone thinking, what if we're next?
Exactly.
And if BRICS can provide a safety net, it's understandable why so many countries are interested.
Right.
They see BRICS as a way to hedge their bets and reduce their dependence on a single superpower.
That's a crucial insight. The world is watching and learning from what's happening with Russia.
Right.
And for creators, this is important to think about because it could affect everything.
Yeah.
From the value of your investments to the platforms you use to reach your audience.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
It is. Yeah. And when you combine the economies of all the BRICS countries, it's pretty substantial, especially when it comes to commodities. They produce a lot.
Right. Of oil, gas, minerals, and agricultural products.
So it's not just alternative financial systems.
Right.
They could actually be setting up a whole different economic model, one that might not rely so much on the U.S. dollar.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
For creators who often work across borders and need international payments.
And that brings us to the big question.
Yeah.
What does this mean for the future of the U.S. dollar?
Yeah.
The dollar has been the world's reserve currency for such a long time.
It has.
But is that dominance starting to crack under pressure?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, countries can't just stop using the dollar overnight.
Yeah.
There are contracts, obligations, whole financial systems built around it.
It's like trying to turn a giant ship around.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You're right. De-dollarization, if it happens, will be gradual.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's not happening.
Right.
What BRICS is doing is creating other options.
Right.
And that's what's making people pay attention.
Right.
The more they can trade using their own currencies.
Right.
Or through systems like BRICS Pay, the less they'll depend on the dollar.
So when we say de-dollarization, do we mean the dollar completely disappearing?
Right.
Or more like a shift in its dominance? Like maybe it becomes one of many major currencies.
Exactly.
Instead of the only one.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And I think the second scenario is more likely.
Okay.
It's not about the dollar disappearing suddenly.
Right.
It's about a more multipolar world where other currencies and financial systems have more of a say.
Okay.
Think about Egypt.
Right.
They owe a lot of money to the IMF.
Right.
And they have to pay those loans back in dollars. Right. If the BRICS Bank can step in and give them loans in their own currency, that could really help them.
Right.
And make them more likely to use the BRICS system.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's about having options.
It is.
Right now, a lot of countries feel like they don't have any choice.
Right.
But to follow the rules set by the U.S.
Yeah.
And its allies.
BRICS is offering them another way.
Yeah.
A way that could lead to more economic independence and influence.
And that's a powerful message.
It is.
It speaks to countries that have felt marginalized
Yeah.
or exploited by the current system. Yeah.
They see BRICS as a way to even things out.
Yeah.
And have a bigger say
Right.
in their own future.
But whether they succeed or not. Right.
Depends on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Can they really get BRICS Pay working smoothly?
Yeah.
Can the new development bank handle the increased demand for loans? Can they stay united?
Right.
Especially with the different interests of their members.
Those are all good questions.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee that BRICS will achieve everything they want to.
It's still early.
It is.
And there are a lot of challenges.
There are.
It's like watching a startup in its early days.
Right.
That could potentially disrupt the whole industry.
Yeah. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of unknowns, and a lot at stake.
Yeah. And for creators, it's important to understand these shifts because they could have implications for your own financial strategies and creative endeavors.
We talked about the potential impact on currencies and payments, but it goes beyond that.
Okay.
A multipolar world could open up new opportunities for collaboration and creative exchange.
It's like we need a whole new mental map for navigating the global economy.
Yeah, and for creators who are already dealing with so much change in the digital world, this adds another layer of complexity.
Yeah, but it also presents a lot of really exciting possibilities.
Exactly.
Imagine creators in Brazil seamlessly collaborating with those in India or South Africa using BRICS Pay to handle transactions, or a creator in Egypt getting funding from the new development bank to launch a project that they couldn't have before.
That's a really inspiring way to look at it.
Yeah, it's not just about countries and currencies. Yeah. It's about people connecting.
Exactly.
And creating in new ways.
Breaking down traditional barriers and building a more diverse and inclusive creative landscape.
Exactly.
And as creators, we thrive on innovation and connection.
Yeah, so while there is uncertainty,
there is.
There's also an opportunity to be at the forefront of this change.
To explore these new avenues and shape the future of the creator economy.
It's like we're all pioneers going into uncharted territory.
Yeah. And while there are risks, there's also the potential for incredible discovery and growth.
And that's what makes this so fascinating.
It is.
We're witnessing a historical shift happening right now.
And it's up to us to not only understand it, but to take part in shaping it.
So to all the creators out there, keep your eyes open.
Stay curious.
Stay curious.
Be ready to adapt.
Be ready to adapt.
The world is changing and the possibilities are endless.
It really does feel like we're at a crossroads.
Yeah.
The decisions being made today by governments, institutions, individuals, they're all going to shape the world we live in tomorrow. And for creators, it's more important than ever to be aware of these trends. And to think about how they might affect our lives and our businesses.
What's fascinating is how this affects you as a creator in a world that's increasingly divided by geopolitical tensions and economic interests. How will the rise of BRICS influence your financial decisions and strategies?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Will you use new payment platforms like BRICS Pay?
Yeah.
Will you seek out collaborations with creators in BRICS nations?
Yeah.
Will you look to the new development bank as a potential source of funding?
Yeah. Those are all things creators should consider as the global landscape changes.
To connect this to the bigger picture, the rise of BRICS shows us that the world is becoming more multipolar. Power is shifting, alliances are forming, and new economic models are emerging.
It's a time of great uncertainty.
Yeah, it is.
But also a time of great opportunity.
And for creators, this means we need to think globally, diversify our strategies, and be prepared to navigate a more complex world.
But it also means we have the chance to be part of something big, something that could completely change the way we connect and thrive in the years to come.
That's an inspiring thought.
It is.
And we hope this deep dive has given you some insights to help you navigate this changing landscape.
If you found this interesting, subscribe for more deep dives. into fascinating topics that impact the creator economy.
It really does feel like we're at a crossroads.
It does.
The decisions being made today by governments, institutions, individuals, they're all going to shape
the
world we live in tomorrow. And for creators, it's more important now than ever to be aware of these trends and to think about how they might affect our lives and our businesses.
What's so fascinating here is how this impacts you as a creator in a world that's becoming more and more divided by geopolitical tensions and economic interests. How is the rise of BRICS going to influence your own financial decisions and strategies?
It's a question worth thinking about.
It is.
Will you try using new payment platforms like BRICS Pay?
Will you look for collaborations with creators in BRICS nations? Will you consider the new development bank as a potential source of funding for your projects?
Those are all things creators might want to think about as the world keeps changing.
To connect this back to the bigger picture, the rise of BRICS shows us that the world is becoming more multipolar, power is shifting, alliances are forming, and new economic models are emerging.
It's a time of great uncertainty, but also a time of great opportunity.
And for creators, this means that we need to think globally, diversify our strategies, and be prepared to navigate a more complex world.
But it also means that we have the chance to be a part of something truly transformative.
Something that could change the way we create, connect, and thrive in the years to come.
That's inspiring.
It is.
And we hope this deep dive has given you some valuable insights to help you navigate this changing landscape.
If you found this interesting, subscribe for more deep dives into fascinating topics impacting the creator economy.
And that's it.
That's it.
For this week's Deep Dive Alliance.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
See ya.